Good afternoon and welcome to the Africa Heritage Diaspora Television, still the #1 voice for African and the diaspora in Atlanta, Georgia. We talk about countries of the world making innovations, great stride. We just talked about Brazil, and now from Brazil we move down to Europe. Northern Ireland is a country that everybody wants to know more of and also visit. Recently, the Northern Ireland opened up a consulate here in Atlanta. Of course, Atlanta has been the mecca of all the nations since the Centennial Olympics of 1996. And I happened to meet one gentleman who is the Consul General of Northern Ireland here in Atlanta. He spoke eloquently about Northern Ireland at the Metro Atlanta Chamber. Then today, Mr. Paul Gleason is my guest at the African Heritage Diaspora Television. You're welcome,
Thank
Paul.
you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay.
So I'm the new Consul General of Ireland here.
Okay.
And we have good relations with Northern Ireland as well, of course. But I'm the Consul General of Ireland here, effectively, and just arrived within the last 6 weeks. It's a great city to be in.
Thank you very much. I see you are ready to go. And actually, what I want to tell you, what is actually spectacular about Northern Ireland? Why should people know more about this country?
Okay, well, I'm the Consul General of Ireland. So at home you have Ireland and Northern Ireland.
no,
And
okay,
I'm the Consul General for Ireland.
Okay.
But we're working together across the border in Ireland and both parts of the island.
Okay.
Ireland has had a rich history, I suppose, and great connections with this part of the world.
Okay.
And we've decided here with our new office here to expand our footprint in the United States.
Right.
Traditionally, Ireland had offices here in the US, in New York, in Boston, in Chicago, in San Francisco, in very traditional Irish areas here. And this is something new for us. Everybody said we needed to expand our footprint, and so we've arrived here in Atlanta. And I think we've a very good story to tell about Ireland, about the economic growth we've had. We have some difficult challenges in recent times, like a lot of countries have had. But we've a very positive story to tell. And that story includes the story of Northern Ireland and the peace process we've had developed there as well over recent years. So we've a very positive story to tell, and that's what we're here to do through the new consulate.
Oh, so what is the situation between the peace process now? How far now are you achieving about this?
So we've come a very long way with the peace process. We had a situation where in Northern Ireland there was a lot of violence for a long number of years. What happened then was through the late 80s and the 1990s, we had much greater dialogue develop around the peace process.
Right.
Bringing in the different parties and the different groups who had been at loggerheads and which had caused a lot of the violence over previous years. So we had a peace process developed there which was steered by the Irish and British governments,
right,
with great support from American presidents and from the European Union as well. And a dialogue developed which resulted in the Good Friday Agreement of 1998.
Right.
And that laid the bedrock for the peace process in Northern Ireland. And for great work between the communities there, and for the development of new institutions,
right,
a new assembly for Northern Ireland, new relations on a north-south basis in Ireland, what we call the North-South Ministerial Council,
right,
and new relationships between Britain and Ireland as well in the British-Irish Council. And what we have seen develop since then is what might be called normal politics in a European sense.
Sure.
It's a very positive development. It allows the economy to function more smoothly again, and for politicians to concentrate on the bread and butter issues that matter to people. They're, of course, social and economic issues and so on.
That's right.
So that's been a great story. For Ireland, it has meant that in meeting the challenges we face today, we can cooperate on a north-south basis in Ireland,
Sure.
which is a very positive development.
Okay.
And not something we were fortunate enough to have in times past. When
That's
we were dealing with challenges, part of the problem was the violence in Ireland or the lack of a peace process.
Sure.
Nowadays, it is a much brighter situation. There's great cooperation on the island, and that's one of the positive stories we have to tell as well.
I think this story really worth telling because understanding the same makes outstanding. I'm very glad to hear this. The African nations and the diaspora is so much interested in Ireland.
Yes.
Now, Dublin is one big city that invites people of the world to see so many creative things, great things happening. Talk to me about Dublin.
Well, Dublin is where I'm from.
Yes.
I'm from the north side of Dublin, from a town called Drumcondra.
Okay.
And it is a great city, I would agree with you.
Yes.
It's a city of maybe 1.5 million in population, so it's a good size city of scale in European terms.
Sure.
And there's an awful lot to do there. It's a wonderful place for culture, for going out, wonderful universities, great place to visit. And like, I think becoming a real European hub as well. It's become a hub in Europe for financial services, become a hub for ICT, information communications technology.
Sure.
We have lots of the biggest companies in the world in Ireland, companies like Google, companies like Facebook, companies like Intel, these big corporations at the cutting edge of information communications technology, and they're choosing Ireland and Dublin as their location, and other cities and towns in Ireland as well. So it's a very innovative young city full of young graduates with a great university sector as well, and a great place to visit. And one of the things we're here to do is to encourage as many people as possible from Atlanta and from the southeast to come visit Ireland and experience it for themselves.
Definitely, I think I would love to visit. I would love to visit Ireland and also stay in Dublin and see things for myself. But that brings me to what happened in Ireland recently when the legendary Muhammad Ali visited Ireland. What is the
Very
connection?
Well, Muhammad Ali's great-grandfather was actually born in Ireland in the county of Clare.
Right.
And he left Ireland, I think, in 1860
Yes.
To come and live in the US,
Yes.
where he integrated here and became a US
Amazing.
citizen and stayed on here. And Muhammad Ali went back to Ireland last year
Yes.
in 2009, went to the county of Clare,
Yes.
and there was a tremendous reception and
Very
tremendous
great.
welcome for him. And of course, he's not unusual in that experience. We had huge amounts of Irish and Scots-Irish who left Ireland in the 18th and 19th centuries, and who left a land that was very poor at that time, that had a lot of poverty. And of course, we had a great Irish famine between 1845 and 1849. And that led to huge numbers of Irish coming over to the United States.
Yes.
And it has led to us having such a huge Irish community today in the US, as well as in countries like the Great Britain, in Australia and other parts of the world as well. So one of the reasons we have such a wonderful community here is that people like Muhammad Ali's great-grandfather came over here.
Yes.
And other famous Americans like President Kennedy, and different people. Of course, a great Irish heritage. President Kennedy's 4 grandparents were from Ireland. So there's always been that great flow of Irish people traveling to the US, and it has given us a great connection with this part of the world still today. And we have looked in recent years to draw on some of the knowledge of that Irish community worldwide. We have developed what we call our Global Irish Network, which is to bring in the expertise of these Irish people throughout the world who have such a great understanding of economies like that in the US, and a lot to contribute to Irish ideas about how we can use our culture, our economy and our society to return to sustainable and enduring growth ourselves. So the Muhammad Ali story is emblematic of a number of great stories of people who left Ireland in previous centuries. President Obama also has great Irish heritage from Moneygall and County Offaly in Ireland.
Oh my God.
So we have great heritage there and great links with the US many years later as a result.
Yes, another thing that really fascinates me is the area of culture. You talk strongly about the culture. The Irish community used to have a parade here.
Yes.
The what was the name of the parade?
Well, we have a number of societies here, like our Shamrock Society
Yes.
here, and we've a very good Irish chamber here in Atlanta as well. And you're right, culture is one of the
Yes,
big
very
things for
strong
us.
one, yeah.
One of the newspapers at home, or one of the British newspapers actually recently, referred to Ireland as the world's smallest cultural superpower. And I like that term. It was very nice.
I think it's...
Because we are a small
I
country.
accept that, yeah.
We are a small country, but we have had an imprint in cultural terms that I think goes far beyond our population.
Sure.
And that is in musical terms, obviously, the biggest band in the world.
Yes.
At the moment, U2 are, of course, an Irish band. And a rich tradition of Irish music, traditional music and dance as well. Of course, Riverdance was another one of our great exports.
Yes.
And it's a history that goes into the literary traditions as well, of course. James Joyce, Oscar Wilde, W.B. Yeats, great Irish writers. And as well, going into other fields as well today, more modern fields like film and so on, and acting. And we've a number of great Irish actors and directors today. So it's a wonderfully rich Irish tradition and Irish cultural tradition that is a big part of what we have to say here in America. In New York, for example, there's always Irish shows on Broadway and Irish plays and different things. And this part of the world in the southeast where we are now, a great part of the world for things like Irish traditional music and traditional Irish dancing as well. So that's a big part of our imprint, and a part of the reason why we encourage so many people to visit Ireland is to come and see these things for themselves and to experience some of the traditional Irish music at home, to come and see our exhibitions on Joyce and W.B. Yeats and other great Irish writers and painters as well. So that's part of the great Irish story, I think, in this part of the world.
Well, that's a good commendation, really. For students, because this program is being watched by some of the universities and also some students who want to study in Ireland.
Yes.
And especially in the University of Dublin, I think.
Yes, well, we've a few big universities in
Yes.
Dublin, and some of the best universities in the world are in Ireland. Trinity
What do they
College
specialise
Dublin,
on?
Trinity College Dublin, University College Dublin, Dublin City University, and outside Dublin as well, places like University College Cork, our National Institute in Galway, National University there. Great universities in Ireland. And they specialise across the board in engineering, in the sciences, in medicine, but also in the arts and in humanities. I studied political science and history at Trinity College in Dublin. And what we have been saying to university students and to high school students in the US is to consider Ireland as a place to go to get a world-class university education. We're, of course, an English-speaking country, which is good for a number of students here, full of young people with new, bright and exciting ideas. And we want to encourage as many people as possible to come to Ireland to study, to come to Dublin and to study in our different universities in Ireland as well. So there's a great opportunity for that. I think we have some 7,000 US students come and study in Ireland every year. We'd love to increase that number. It's the fastest growing country for US students to study in anywhere in the world aside from China, I think. And we want to increase the pace of that and encourage more students from here to come and get a world-class university in Ireland. And of course to encourage students from other parts of the world as well, including Africa, to come and study in Ireland. So we've a great product there, and it's something we definitely want to encourage through our new consulate here.
There is a direct flight from Atlanta to
There's a
Dublin.
direct flight from Atlanta, so you have no excuses for not going to visit.
That's
and
a
we've
good
direct flights as well from Orlando and from Charlotte in the southeast.
Okay.
So those direct linkages are there. You can leave Atlanta in the evening at 7 o'clock and you're in Ireland 7 o'clock the next morning. So it's a great opportunity to come to study, also to play golf, to trace your ancestors. Great reasons to come visit. But the university sector particularly, we're keen to work with Clark University. We've great links with other universities in Atlanta like Emory University, like Georgia Tech, and we're anxious to build those relationships in areas like research and into bright new technologies, but also to increase the amount of students going in each direction, to get more Irish students over here to study and to bring more students from the southeast to Ireland as well.
Okay, yeah, you see, the one area I look at Ireland that has been persistent and over the years is the area of sports.
Yes.
Now the Olympics will be happening at your next door,
That's
your
right.
backyard.
That's right. That's
2012.
right.
What is the preparation of Ireland towards the Olympics? And
Yes,
what are
well,
the-
I saw you just had the Brazilian ambassador
Yes,
in here
yes.
with you, and we didn't make it to the World Cup, unfortunately, in soccer, but we'll
Yes.
hopefully get to the World Cup in Brazil in 2014.
Yeah.
Ireland, of course, it's very close to London where
Right,
the Olympics will
yes.
be held. It's only an hour away by
Yes.
flight. And we have universities and facilities there that will be available to countries who are looking to base themselves close to London for the Olympics.
Okay.
And that's certainly a sector we want to target as well. And different African countries who are coming to Europe for the Olympic
Sure.
Games, they will be able to base themselves in Dublin and to use great facilities at our
Facility.
universities
Right.
there, as sports clubs and so on, and to use that as a base for London in 2012.
Okay.
And we're very excited about that. It's great for that part of the world, for Europe to have those games, and of course nowhere is closer to Britain than Ireland, and we have that great link up as well. And we're looking to be competitive there in sporting terms as well. We've a great boxing squad in Ireland.
Sure.
We've a number of up and coming young athletes as well. So it's going to be a very exciting time, 2012, and Dublin offers exciting opportunities for countries who are coming to compete in those games as well.
You know, we were talking in Africa about 2 months ago, and bringing the Celebrate Africa exhibition to the Olympics, as we brought it here in 1996. And we picked Dublin to be one of the centers to stage the exhibition.
It'd be a
and
wonderful
they said-
opportunity.
Yes, that looks good. Now, when you go to the bar and you saw ice cream,
Yes.
and Irish cream is always top of the line. What makes that special, and what makes that to be the news all over the world? Irish cream.
Well, we've wonderful food and drink products in Ireland. They're some of our greatest exports. Everybody knows of Guinness, of course, in this part of the world, and Guinness is one of Ireland's great exports,
Right.
going all the way back to 1759. So great heritage, 250-year anniversary of Guinness they celebrated last year, and it's one of our great products that we sell throughout the world. But Irish creams that you're talking about as well, we have great liqueurs like Bailey's, and great Irish whiskies like Jameson's, Paddy's whiskey, a number of great liqueurs as well. So there's a great, it is part of the Irish experience, both getting to taste these great Irish products abroad, but also when people come to Ireland, experiencing Irish pubs, which are a remarkable experience, a place to go for traditional Irish music, for great conversation, great atmosphere. And that's part of the great experience of coming to visit Dublin and coming to visit other parts of Ireland as well, where you have great traditional music, great pubs and restaurants in counties like Kerry, Clare, Galway, Mayo, other parts of the country as well. And that's part of the great experience. It's hard to describe maybe before people come and visit, but when they're there, a great experience in terms of feeling a part of Irish culture, and part of that is in the pubs and what they have to offer as well.
Is that what makes your health great? The Irish cream?
Make the Irish heart great? I don't know.
Your health great?
I'd have to consult the doctors on that one. I couldn't tell you. But it's certainly part of the Irish experience. You know?
Good thing, food and good cream
Good,
and
yes,
everything.
exactly.
Now, Guinness Book of Record is always very exciting, and people wants to. The Guinness drink has been one of the most famous drink all over the world.
Yes.
Do you have anything with to associate Guinness Book of Record and also the Guinness drink together? How does the name really seem together?
Well, I think Guinness have sponsored the Book of Records for quite a while, and it's one of their great sponsorships and great things that they do. But they've a very big profile as a company. They're one of our greatest, most successful exports. They have a huge market in Nigeria, for instance, as well, as I'm sure you know.
All over the world.
All over Africa.
All
over the world. And it's a great product, a great calling card of Ireland. Even here in Atlanta, we have tremendous Irish pubs, great Irish pubs like Fado and Reraw in town as well, brilliant Irish pubs, and a great symbol of Ireland abroad as well. And Guinness is a big part of that story. The Book of Records is a big sponsorship for it, and it's involved in a number of other big sporting sponsorship as well, and sponsoring different things with an Irish tinge throughout the world. So it's definitely part of the great Irish story. It's a great place to visit in Ireland. It's the #1 tourist attraction in Ireland. It's the Guinness Centre, and it's a great history of Guinness through the years, through the centuries, and a great chance to experience a little bit of Ireland, a little bit of Dublin, and a little bit of Guinness as well.
I think I can never disagree with you, but Looking in the area of politics,
Yes.
which has made Ireland very great, you seems to practice a good democracy in that part of the world.
Very stable,
What
yeah.
can the world learn from the Irish, the Ireland setup, democracy, and everything? What do you think the world can learn from your own?
Well,
version?
I think one of the stories we have to tell
Yes.
is the story of conflict resolution in
Right.
Ireland. And it's a story that can be applicable in different parts of
Sure.
the world, in Africa, in East Timor, and different
Yeah,
places.
Middle East. And,
Yeah, absolutely. Now, all these conflicts have different dimensions, and
Yes.
they all have their own unique circumstances. But we would think that hopefully we have something to offer in that respect with regard to our own peace process and the
Yes.
stories that have developed there around that. Stories about negotiations and patience in negotiations and looking for clear targets and trying to bring all parties sitting around the one table and create a good dialogue. And I think Ireland has something to tell and something to give in that respect, and hopefully something that is of use to other parts of the world in examining their own conflicts and looking at the Irish example, because it is a remarkable example. We had a part of the island, Northern Ireland, where there was violence and great trouble for 25 years between 1969 and 1994, and even some violence after that. And the story of how that was ended in large part, of how the parties were brought together, is a great story that I think Ireland is trying to sell in different parts of the world and trying to tell people about, and hopefully that other countries can learn from. And we have a very stable political system as well in Ireland, not of course without its own challenges, and big challenges from time to time, including at the moment in relation to the economy. But we have a very stable political system, all right. We have a parliament with 166 members of parliament, and multi-seat electoral constituencies spread around 41 constituencies in Ireland. So it's a very stable political system. But what's probably unique on the island is that interplay between the south, between Ireland and between Northern Ireland, and that relationship and how it has evolved and how we've been able to see it evolve in a peaceful manner, and to develop stable institutions in Northern Ireland. And that's hopefully a good story in terms of conflict resolution that we can tell the world and share with the world as well.
Well, it's a great credit to Ireland about this conflict resolution, and I think the people of the world needs to learn a great lesson from this, and that's why we are very proud of the Republic of Ireland. I particularly study geography, and I know more about what has really gone through in Ireland, and also now that you sit together, you work together, you treat together, it makes the world a global village.
Yes.
Now, your mission here in Atlanta
Yes,
is to promote economy of Ireland,
that's right.
and also to get more traffic to see Ireland in a different manner.
Yes.
Given the length of time and so on and so forth, how do you think the future of the consulate here in Atlanta is going to be?
You're right. That's what we're here to do.
Yes.
We're here, I think, to get people to consider Ireland more.
Yes.
To consider Ireland as a place to invest if companies are looking to invest in the European Union.
Yes.
Ireland is a business-friendly, English-speaking, low-tax economy.
Yes.
A 12.5% corporation tax rate. So
Sure.
it's very competitive like that. And we think we would consider it a great place to invest. And we have 8 of the top 10 IT companies in the world in Ireland, 9 of the top 10 pharmaceutical companies in the world in
Yes.
Ireland. So that tells its own story, and we've a lot of skilled young graduates available to work as well. But also as a place to trade, and one of the things we'd like to do here is increase trade between Atlanta and Ireland, between Georgia and Ireland, and increase the trade in both directions, get more companies travelling in both directions. That's a key part of what we're trying to do as well. Tourism is another big area we spoke about. We want to encourage more people to visit Ireland, to enjoy the countryside, to trace their ancestors, to play golf, and also from university students as well, to
Sure.
encourage, and we spoke about that, get university students going in both directions. So there's a lot to do here from the consulate, and it's an exciting development for us. It's our first new consulate in more than 70 years, so it's a great, very exciting development. And we're very much looking forward to meeting as many people here as we can. We've had a wonderful welcome from the mayor, from the governor, and from other consular colleagues here in Atlanta and from the universities as well. So it's been a great beginning for us. We've a great Irish community here, great Irish American community, great Scots-Irish community. And we're looking to work with them as closely as possible to build these linkages in any way we can. And that's the main job of the consulate here over the next few years.
Okay, I think that is quite amazing. Now, with everything said, where will your office be, the consulate?
We're hoping that the consulate office will be in Buckhead. We have our investment agency here already, the IDA, who are telling a great story about Ireland as a place to invest, and we will hopefully link up with them here in Buckhead.